Let's go. Let's go. What's up? It's your guy, Greg Gray, Dope Living TV Live. Let me start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, look, we have had a great time this week talking to the people that have become award-winning authors all through the Distinguished Authors Guild, okay? And man, look, it's just been a beautiful week, and we're going to continue that. We are loaded today. We are loaded with talented people who just takes moments out of their lives to show us a different side of the world, show us a different side of everything, man. It takes us out of all of this mess that's on, don't look at the news, read a book, all right? Let me bring on Distinguished Author Guild and author herself, Gina Gatson. What's going on, bro?
Hey, we're here.
It is the Distinguished Authors Guild week. Yes, we are having a good time.
Yes, and we have had a wonderful week, man. Yeah. Authors with so much information, networking. Some of them left out of here with some goodies that they're going to be moving forward and networking with. So I'm just elated to see that and be a part of it.
We got some authors that are going to be premiering their new books at movie premieres and things of that nature. It's some good stuff. Okay, everybody say what's up to Marcella.
Hi.
Marcy.
Hey, I'm excited about today. And all week has been awesome.
I can tell. Look at you.
Isn't she glowing?
Isn't she lovely? I got my friend, my very good friend, who we're gonna do some work. Michelle, the computer lady, she's there. My guy. I'm gonna call him a mentor because he's doing everything I want to do. Mr. Kevin McLemore, and my girl is gonna put orgasms in the Olympics.
That was a conversation behind the scenes.
Sarah Fleming, she coming on, man. Look, man, if don't nobody else have a good time, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm definitely having a good time. So let's get started, okay? And Gina, we're gonna bring them all on at the same time.
All right.
This is gonna be fun.
What's up, everybody? Say what's up to Clara Fleming.
Hi, how are you?
Clara.
Hey. Pleasure to be here with you.
Amen. Our pleasure to have you.
Yes. Our pleasure. Let me bring my guy on, Mr. Kevin McLemore. What's going on, buddy?
Kevin.
Hi. Hey, Kevin.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Check your mic and see if it's muted.
It's not muted.
And make sure your microphone is on.
Hey, try to log off and log back on real quick, buddy. See if that'll work. In the meantime, got my girl. Oops, I took Marcy out. I'm sorry. Got my girl, Michelle.
Hey, computer lady.
Hi.
How's everybody?
Computer lady.
Good.
We there. Let's see if we got Kevin. Now. All right. You good, Kevin? Oh, man. We still can't hear you.
Not a bit.
You can fix it. We're gonna keep the face on there, okay?
Try your settings. And make sure you have. It's either gonna give you an option of headset. The other one will be speaker, and the other one will be microphone. So whatever you're using, if you're using the speaker from your computer, then you want to put it on speaker.
Look at Gina trying to be a teacher there, okay? Also,
I learned a lot from using this phone.
Bring on the doctor, the life coach here, because every now and then throughout the show, we got to hold up and wait a minute. Got to bring the life coach up in it, all right?
Got to put that life coaching in it.
Mr. Jeff,
All right.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Good evening.
Awesome.
We trying to
You hear me?
Oh, Kevin, we got you, brother. We got
All
you.
right. Thanks, Gina.
There you go, Kevin.
All right. I'm ready to go to the Olympics.
Clara gonna tell us all about it.
All about it.
It's a mandate.
All about it.
And we also got Dr. Grace Almond. What's her last name?
Burke.
Burke.
Dr. Burke.
Okay,
Dr.
hi,
Burke.
Dr. Burke.
Welcome,
Okay, how you doing?
madam.
Good evening.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We are full of literary genius here, man. I'm happy. I'm so happy. So let's get started, man. Let's start with the orgasm. I mean, I'm gonna stop calling you the orgasm lady.
Listen. I will answer.
You know what, Clara? Make sure you let them know why he's calling you back.
Yeah. Bring out that book.
Thank you, 600.
Scandal.
What was that again? Go ahead, Claire.
We don't want to create a scandal, or maybe we do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
All
we
day.
do.
This is what we do here on Dope Living TV.
Yeah. It'll just give me something else to write about. Let's do this.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
Well,
right
I am researching a sequel, so you know.
What is it? Orgasm 2?
Well, I don't want to give away too much, but
all right. So, Claire, tell us a little bit about yourself, real quick.
Oh my! I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where it is very cold right now. But I'm a Southern girl. I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina, and I've been here many years. But I do not claim this as home.
Oh,
I'm just here.
Don't say that too loud.
I'm visiting. I'm visiting.
Is that a lengthy visit?
Yes, since 1985. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
But I came. What happened was I got here. I had one of those orgasms that Greg is talking about. Ended up with 2 children. Thought I was in love. And so you know, again, that's in the books. I have 2 biological children. Several grandchildren, many village children, and these are my first books. I've always wanted to write, but this was my first attempt at actually publishing a book. So these 2 books, Reflections with My Reflections and Generational Orgasms, were both published within a year and a half in the pandemic in my mid-50s. So
that's what's up.
Anything is possible.
All right, let's move around. Dr. Grace Almond Burke, tell us about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I really am happy to be here and to be part of the Distinguished Authors Guild. To start off, I am from the village of Harlem in New York City.
That's what's up.
That's where I was born and raised.
Yes, son.
Spent the first 30 years of my life. Presently, since 1992, 30 years this year, I've been living in the Dallas, Texas area.
Oh, okay.
I was recruited by Parkland Hospital, the large municipal hospital here in Dallas, because I am a nurse midwife. And they were opening a new midwife unit at the hospital, and they needed someone to be the director. So they recruited me down from New York. And I've been here 30 years. I spent 15 years at Parkland. And by the end of my tenure, I had delivered 4,000 babies.
Wow.
Wow.
Did you wash your hands?
So she's after the orgasm.
Yeah.
Dr. Burke is after the orgasm.
Yeah.
I'm the product after.
I see a trend here, Gina. I see a thing.
Hey, wait a minute. I can't wait till Kevin come on. Sorry.
Yeah. And if anybody knows Parkland Hospital, I'll just be real quick. It's the largest maternity unit. Unit in the country, next to and in the world, next to New Delhi, India.
Wow.
So we delivered 16,000 babies a year during those 15 years that I worked there. It was a tremendous experience. I loved it, and I've now retired for the last 15 years. But so I've had lots and lots of babies. As you can know, babies are my thing. Just to give you a little bit about myself, I have 3 adult children. I have 4 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. My children are adopted, my original 3 adult children. So one of my books is called Broken Pieces, Mending the Fragments Through Adoption. And that's my 40-year adoption journey as an adoptive mom. It was quite a journey. And if any of you are in any way acquainted with adoption, it's a very good read. Everyone knows that adoptive children come from hard places.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned that God gave us those 3 children. They're special children to my husband and myself, those particular children. And it was our assignment to raise them and to nurture them and bring them up in the fear of God. It wasn't an easy journey. It was hard and difficult, some more difficult than others with the kids. But thank God, the outcome has been great. And so that was in that book. This book that for which I won the award with DAG is called December's as Pleasant as May. And it's a series of 50 essays, some personal and some formal, really about my life, not just focusing on the children, but on missions trips that I've taken abroad. I'm also an ordained minister, so I'm very interested in global missions. And so I've been on missions trips to Africa. And in addition to that, prior to coming to Parkland, I lived 15 years in the Caribbean, where I did international work as a nurse midwife.
You go, girl.
A nurse.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. So
That's a journey, Dr. Burke. That's a true journey.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's where I met
definitely.
my boo.
In
in Barbados. I went down there single and came back married with 3 children after 15 years. And
okay, now this cannot be the story of the night. Come on, Kevin, you get ready because we want to hear about you moving somewhere and coming back with a whole family.
That's what happens when you pack Claire's book.
Yes. That's what happens. Comes with instructions.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be that show right now.
It was a wonderful life-changing experience living and working in the Caribbean. We made very dear friends. And what was even more impactful for me is that Barbados was the land of my father's birth. Okay. So I was able to go back in time and find my grandparents' graves and all of that ancestry stuff that was just absolutely wonderful. Since then, I've taken up a keen interest in genealogy. So I'm on ancestor.com, and I found 5 generations back of Almonds, which was my maiden name, found a great-great-grandfather, 5th great-grandfather, who was actually born in slavery and was liberated when slavery was abolished in Barbados. So I don't want to take up all the time, but it's, part of the book that I've written for which I got the prize has a lot to do with that ancestral information. It's a series of essays, as I said, starting in Harlem when I was a little girl, the church kitchen, as we all know about, the church picnic, all kinds of things that happened when I was a child. My daddy,
the church,
my daddy was a pastor, so I was the PK that had to be on my P's and Q's and all of those kinds of things. I think I've said enough, perhaps, for now.
Wow, that's so interesting, though. I mean, I'm just, I knew a little bit about your background, but not into that depth.
Yeah, in the book, I have, as I said, places I've lived. My mother now, on the other hand, was born in Panama, and her parents had gone from Jamaica to help build the Panama Canal. So about 10 years ago, a group of us cousins went to Panama because we wanted to see the land of our mother's birth. And we were able to traverse the canal. And that was just a life-changing experience as well. And I've written, one of the essays is about my journey to Panama.
But we're gonna get into some of that. And I hope my guys that work with me every day on the show, I hope y'all, and Dr. Grace, we don't sugarcoat nothing on here, all right? So I know you're a pastor. I know you're doing this and that, okay. But on certain passages that we come on here, you might have to cover your ears, all right? Because I don't.
Look at Marcella's face, like, boy, do I know.
As a minister, I hear
that's the disclaimer right there. That's your disclaimer.
Yeah, I hear a lot of things as a minister.
Yeah.
So.
Dr. Grace,
Yes.
Grace, I'm here with you.
You're gonna hear a lot tonight, too, okay? Let me get to,
especially when you get to chapter 4, Clara's book.
No, we're on chapter 4 right now with Mr. Kevin McLemore. Okay, this is where you.
Well, I am going to.
Don't hold it back, though. Don't hold it back.
I'm going to say first, thank you. I've associated myself with people that are friends that were honored with this Distinguished Author Guild's award. I was lucky enough to be nominated with 2 books, Indispensable Games of X's and O's and Sprinkles, which won The True Spirit of Christmas. So I've been teaching this for the last couple days on how to do your bio in 10 words or less. So I'm gonna make it real quick. I'm an author, I'm a media influencer, I'm a community activist, and I'm a social game changer. And that's my bio. So, but otherwise you'll see the other side of Kevin as soon as Clara opens up her book.
Well, Kevin, I know that we're going to get a little bit more into Kevin's background because I know he does a lot.
Yes.
And there's a lot we're going to talk about tonight.
You have no idea how much I've been doing lately. I've had magic happen today.
He is doing everything I want to do, and yes, we are all anticipating Clara. Just open up the first page and fold that little corner back. We good. Now let's get to my girl. She's so talented. She is so talented, not just writing. She does a lot of other things too. Okay, this is Michelle, the computer lady. What's up, girl?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm kitty sitting right now. We
Chapter 6.
We rescued a cat.
Okay, look, I'm like, okay, we just talked about orgasm and she's talking about kitty.
Oh Lord,
Kevin, you
about to go down that path, y'all.
Did we put that X-rated on there before we came on?
I am so going to hell.
I write books for children.
I write books to get children.
I'm a child.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, Michelle. I'm sorry.
I created the Mommy Reader series of collections of books. And my new book, Mommy, What is an Entrepreneur, is the book that won the Distinguished Authors Guild Award. I'm also a media influencer. I'm the manager of public relations for the PIC TV network. I teach computer hardware repair, and I do a lot of philanthropy work. That is my goal, is to really do God's work through philanthropy. And so that's what I'm concentrating on. And
no, go ahead.
Well, no, because Greg and I are working on something because I'm also a songwriter.
Yes, he is.
And I do spoken word. And so we're working on something. I can't wait for us to get in the studio. It's going to be momentous.
Hey.
I write country songs.
It's going to be crazy, y'all.
Okay.
Crazy.
Every day, love me your own special way. Know my heart away.
Out here snapping.
Let's go.
I'm just saying, I can't sing country.
All this talent, talent on here. Oh my goodness.
Y'all better do that.
All right.
I don't know what else. There's so much going on behind the scenes with Distinguished Authors Guild authors. It's just making me blush every time I think about it.
Well, you know what, Gina, I gotta say this. Go ahead, girl.
Right. Hurting song.
Don't give it to him. Don't give it to him, Michelle.
That goes wrong.
Don't give it to him.
Because I don't wanna cry all alone. Hey, won't you play another somebody done somebody wrong song?
Woo!
Make you feel at home.
She done took it way back.
Wow.
Right.
That's taking it way back.
That's a lot of talent out here.
Y'all didn't tell me
On the
about
panel
all of
tonight.
this. Y'all just told me about your books and a few other things. Y'all didn't tell me about all of this.
This is the show.
Surprises out here.
This is the show where Chris needs to be on, okay? Chris with the label, starting this label back up. We got several different genres. We can do this, man, for real.
Yeah,
but hey, I want to thank everybody. Your I'll call them the bios, as Kevin said. Your bios are great. You guys already are accomplished, and you guys are can add to your titles, award winning. You know, which is a beautiful thing. I've won awards, but nobody ever called me award winning. They just say, "Oh, you just Greg." I'd be feeling some kind of way, but there wasn't a distinguished authors guild for me to get into, even though I can't write. I could have did something. But anyway, so Clara.
Yes.
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 Capital Y.
Yes. But about 13 S's behind it too.
Yes.
What inspired you to do your books? I'm gonna say both books, and you can talk about whichever one you want. What inspired you? We know
we're gonna definitely give honor to the Distinguished Authors Guild, which selected my first book, Reflections with My Reflections, in the memoir transformation category. And this is the story of my life. It's basically about me standing in the shower, having a conversation with my reflection that I left there 30 plus years ago. And we talk about why I left her there, what's happened since then, and why I decided it was time to come and get her. Okay. So it is the story of my life from where I was to where I am, through dropping out of high school, drug addiction, prostitution, domestic abuse, but I'm still here. And what made me write this book is that I think that we as people don't give ourselves enough credit for the journeys that we take.
There you go.
And we tend to discount what we've been through, and not acknowledge the fact that if it were not for that, we would not be who we are. And we're award-winning authors at this point. So whatever we went through, it didn't kill us. It kept us. Yes. And people will often say, "Oh, I know you," but they only know what we give them. And I wanted them to really know me. And I wanted people behind me, the younger generation, to know it's okay to fail. It's okay to not be perfect. When we don't tell our stories, we set our young people up for failure because we make them think they have to be something that it is impossible to be. Okay. And that was why I wrote that.
That transparency is something else, man. Okay, sometimes you're so transparent and people look at you because of the transparency and judge you, negatively without knowing the entire story. And and I'm quite sure all of you guys had to push through something to get to where you're at now. That second book was what now?
The second book, which I just happen to have here, Generational Orgasms, is the story about an older woman and a younger man. And
true that.
And how they meet and how their relationship goes from like to love to lust.
Like to love to lust.
Interesting.
My children will not read it because it does get a little graphic for some people's taste. So I had to, no girl. So I had to accept the fact that as an author, in the end, I don't write for other people. I write for me. Okay. So if this is not for you, I'm okay with that because it's for me.
Yeah.
True that.
And we have to, it's like Erykah Badu. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my ish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if it's not for you, that's fine. And the reason I wrote this book, there were two reasons I wrote this book. One, I think that women my age, I'm 59. I know I don't look anywhere near that, but I'm 59. Women my age tend to think that all we're supposed to know about cookies is that they go in the oven at 350 for 15 minutes. And I think we spend far too much time denying not only our sexuality, but our sensuality as we age. And we need to embrace our full selves and stop cutting out important pieces of us that make us who we are. I don't want to tell y'all how they met because you need to read the book, but there's a 15-year age difference between them, and they learn from each other. Yeah, they learn from each other.
She went straight from 50 Shades of Gray to Fade to Black.
You know,
strong like a dead, right?
So we might before we leave, we might get a passage out of this book. But I've had some real good responses to both my books, and I wrote these books.
I agree. Keep it close
in a short period of time, and I'm very proud of them. Very proud.
Proud of you.
Very good. I've been working.
You know what? It's inspiring, and just the fact that you can be open, share your experiences, and share your life. Because, like you said, a lot of people only want to put out there what they want you to know. So that's really deep for you to come out and put that much information in the book.
It is.
Yeah. Ken Joseph says the author is inspirational, upfront, and deep. Hey, and while Ken Joseph was here, he has a movie coming out called the Johnny Jackson Story. And I'm telling you, man, you guys got to see this movie. And he's a filmmaker. You guys think about doing your books, turning them into films. This is my guy right here. He says you give her chills. Kevin.
Man, oh man, oh man. How you doing? Hey, I'm going to tell you, I'm so glad that you brought Mr. Johnny into here, because when I talk about both of my books, you talk about Cooley High. I grew up in that lifestyle. So when I talk about indispensable games, I knew I was going to be where I'm at right now today when I was in the third grade. From the moment that I got up in the morning to go to school, which I lived a block away, and found out at 3:20 p.m. when I walked in, turned the key, found out that my whole life had changed. My mother had basically relocated to Beverly Hills 90121, left my father there with 7 of my siblings. And for some reason, my father had a better relationship with the bottle. And please note, I love the living crap out of my father, but he had that connection. He was kind enough to relocate me and my siblings to my grandmother and my grandparents, his father and mother's house, which I got my education on how to be a man, how I became a storyteller, and how I wanted to live my life. And at the third grade, I had determined what I was going to be, who I was going to be, and when I was going to be that. And I knew right now where I'm at right now. And Indispensable Games is a reflection of everything I learned about life. I learned playing high school football. And if it had not been for the summer before I entered high school, being chased home, being shot at, and realized that I had 2 things going for me. One, I had world-class speed, and the other, I wanted to live more than I wanted to die. And that it changed. And that's how Indispensable Games of X's and O's. So the foundation of what sports was all about, showing up on time, being a good teammate, sacrifice, dedication, being present at the moment, overcoming hardship, finding grace, and what it felt like to lose when you should have won. And, that's all in that story. Sprinkles, the award-winning book, it's all about, and I don't want to reveal this before you get a chance to read the book, but I will tell you, my first book was Letters to Elvis. St. Martin Press published my book until they found out that I was a Black man writing about Elvis Presley. What? And then they shifted. When they met me, they gave me $50,000 in advancement. And when I showed up for the marketing meeting, the room went silent.
Wow.
They talked about not putting my picture on the books. They didn't think it was going to sell.
There we go.
And I sat back and I said, you know something? I'm only going to get published one time in my life if I'm lucky enough. I said, my picture's going on it. So they put my picture in a small little, like your driver's license on the back of it. And lucky for me, I'm able to predict any time a disaster is going to happen because the UPS strike happened when they were supposed to release my book. I had traveled the U.S. Doing interviews. I was on Life magazine about that because it was the anniversary of Elvis's death. And then the UPS strike hit. So 35 days later, they settled. Saturday morning, about 5:30 in the morning, I woke up thinking my book was going to, be a bestseller, and Lady Diana died. And
wow.
So the same thing with Indispensable Games of X's and O's. 2 days before that book was supposed to be released, the U.S. and the world shut down. The pandemic hit. So if you want to know when the next catastrophe is going to happen, Valentine's Day, 2020. That's when my next book is going to be released, Dating with the Full Deck. So I will tell you both of my books. Read like it should be a feature film. When St. Martin's Press turned down Sprinkles, The True Spirit of Christmas, the first thing they told me, and Random House told me the same thing, said the world's not ready for this type of book. And I go, what's the problem? They said, your characters are different. I said, what do you mean? I said, my characters are Black. And they just looked at me, and I'm going, you know something? This book is going to be one of those stories that you think every holiday story that you've seen, this will stand the test of time, because I'm going to give the secret away. You can read the whole entire book and you won't find Christmas. The whole story of this book is about being kind to mankind, overcoming your racist or your bias. It's an anti-strong, anti-bully message in there, anti-sex message, and believing in your dreams. So I will tell you.
That leaves you out, Claire.
Yeah,
Okay, and unfortunately, there's no orgasms at the end of the Christmas story.
Yes, it is. It's the day.
Yeah, but you will find out, and I think I've shared this with Gina, and I've said this publicly. I graduated from one of the 107 historically Black colleges. I almost graduated as an athlete without being able to formally read or write. I decided my junior year I was not going to graduate a dumb jock, and taught myself the basic skills. And what had got me through high school, college, and through life, I was able to tell a story better than anybody else. So Les Brown has been a good friend of mine. Richard LeGrevinus told me the same thing. When I wrote my first screenplay, he read it, says the worst screenplay he had ever read. And I said, thank you for being honest. And he wrote Pretty Woman. He just came off of that. But he says, hold on. He says, I've got people that are getting paid millions of dollars that can't do what you do. And I said, what's that? He says, you tell a story better than anybody else. He says, continue to do that. He says, we can find people that write a formula piece for you, but you keep telling the story. So that's Kevin. And
that's a blessing.
There's a lot more going with that, but
yes.
Wait till you hear when we can talk about Dating with the Full Deck that's coming out Valentine's Day.
Dating with a Full Deck.
Yeah, wow. Stay home because there may be another. Get some food.
Hey, yeah.
What's up?
You're gonna have to put some comments on that. Dating with a Full Deck.
He got this.
Hey.
But that's amazing. And from both of these stories, man. What I'm seeing is that you have to go through something to get to something. Okay,
I went through a lot.
You got to, and it's amazing. And some people can't even do it. Some people go through something and they're still going through it. They're stuck. But you guys are exemplary, man. You guys are showing how you can just
do something different to get something different.
Exactly, regardless of what's in front of you or what you don't have or what support you don't have. You're doing it.
But something that I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. The whole part of putting your life on a piece of paper and sharing that note with someone else is to make sure that someone else doesn't have to go through your struggle. They have to create their own. And it's a roadmap to your success. My mother marched with Dr. Martin Luther King, and I watched my older brother take out the trash and come home with a bullet in his head. And so I knew from very early on that I was going to make a difference in someone's life. And the literature that I write, the books, are just my calling card on what I'm going to do next. You have no idea what's in the process. I mean, Michelle and I, the first night that we were on, I swear to God, we were like two little kids on Christmas, and we couldn't, neither one of us knew how to handle having that title attached to something we have written, and I think both of us are internally grateful to Gina for allowing us that privilege. And it's still to this day, Michelle and I mean, she's read Dating with the Full Deck, and she came back with the same response that every single person that has touched this. And I just got the book, the author's proof today, with all 54 cards, and it is freaking beautiful.
It's gonna go, bro. I mean, it's gonna go. You got such a personality, man, and I know you're doing visuals as well on your podcast. So, yes. Hey, man, look, we support 100%. We're not through with you yet, Michelle.
Well, I started writing books. Number one, I had breast cancer. I'm actually a 5-year survivor now. And so God gave me that vision to write books in order to heal myself from the trauma of having breast cancer. Other than that, I had never planned to write books for children. I thought one day I would write my little corny memoir, and just like everybody else, and just, put it out there. But God laid this on my heart, and I write nonfiction STEM-inspired books for children.
Wow.
So, in a rhyming format. This way it's easy for them to learn. And I've always been blessed with the ability to break down complex subjects into a digestible format. So not only does it help children, but it also helps a lot of adults. The adults reading are like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. This is pretty cool. And so I'm having fun with it. It was supposed to be a series of 12, but it's turning out to be more books are coming. Every time I turn around, God gives me, I was like, right on that. So I've got a few more titles that came in my head this week. I'm also in the throes of getting ready to build my own home. We thought we had procured some property, but the county here will not let me build what I want to build. I'm a welder by trade. I was the first certified female welder to come out of the Job Corps program in 1981. And the first certified welder to come out of the program. And so I was doing my own drafting this week and drawing up the plans for my house. But the property is in the county of Newton County in Georgia. And they were like, we're not ready for shipping containers right now. And I'm like, it's not going to look like a shipping container. That's what you don't get. I found some beautiful blue hardy plank to put on the outside of the shipping container. And it's going to be amazing.
Make it look like a cabin. Yeah.
Well, it's 3,250 square feet.
Wow.
Get out of here, girl.
A big cabin.
Okay.
Wow. Woo.
Man, she's got room for friends. I'm stopping over after I buy clothes.
I made a guest cottage and a pool house.
You know something that I'm noticing, a common thread among our authors is that they've used stumbling blocks as stepping stones to further on their journeys, and how you're helping others through your testimonies and showing others, giving them hope, and showing others that no matter what you go through, that's not the end of your life.
Right.
You can always climb out and keep stepping further and further up.
So I don't know if you can see this. These are the drawings.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
You did those drawings?
And,
Yes.
And Marcella, I will say this, and I get this all the time when they talk about my struggles. I didn't have any struggles. I didn't have any stumbling blocks. When you don't know any better, you just grow up and you live, And when they talk about having a sense of purpose, my purpose is every single day kept getting redefined. But one thing is that I was heading in one direction. I knew once I had control over my life, showtime.
Yeah.
It's good.
We got Katina Fuller here.
Katina?
Hey, Katina.
Hi, Katina.
Hello.
Hello.
We got a full house. What we got?
We got people still trying to come in. I just got a message from StreamYard saying, "Hey, upgrade to the 50 people plan." Okay, I'm like,
no.
Surrounded by greatness.
What for
1
hour?
Somebody just ain't gonna get in. It's all good, you can also make comments on the side if you like. Whoever whoever the people that aren't here. I apologize today, but we got some great distinguished Author Guild week. We have some great inspiring. I didn't know, I'm in here getting full.
Yes.
Yeah.
These
man, if this is an inspiration, I don't know what is. I mean, just hearing the background, even the reasoning for the purpose for the books, it's just inspiring. I'm just proud and happy to be able to be a part of these talented authors. They can thank me. I'm going to thank God, but they can thank themselves because they were the ones who pushed forward and stepped out there.
Exactly.
So this is all, this is what you put out. This is the results of you continuing and pushing forward and getting out the best work that anyone can get out.
And here's the thing, Gina. As we even just look at these award-winning authors, there were more people that submitted books, submitted manuscripts to be judged on the show, and it's amazing that everybody didn't get the opportunity to win. But you guys, you're a step above. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but you guys were a step above because it's an arduous process to get your books, number one, read, number two, reread, number three, judged amongst all of the participants, and then to come out, winners. And it's just a beautiful thing, man. As Ken Joseph was like, this is nothing but all God-given experiencing all of these creative wizards, hearing all of these testimonies inspired to a mountain. This is all possible through the above, through God. He's saying,
absolutely, Ken.
Absolutely,
it's amazing. And Kevin, you said something that's I think should resound with everyone. You didn't know about the other stuff, okay? All you saw was forward. That's all you saw. Couldn't get no worse. Just had to go forward. That's amazing, brother, for real.
Yeah. And we don't go through what we go through for ourselves. We go through for other people so that they don't have to go through, or in their going through the journey is easier.
I just remember what my daddy used to say. All they could say is no.
Well, if you look at any of my emails on the body of the email before my name, I said you are only as strong as your last no.
So and then you know what? I'm going to say this because Dr. Burke submitted a book the first year of DAG, and the book was not chosen, but Dr. Burke did not stop there. I believe she was in the process of writing the second book when we were going through the first 2020 DAG, and she submitted that second book, and that second book was chosen because of the content, because of the quality, and she didn't stop because the first book. But you know what? I'm pretty sure she figured, hey, it made it to the nominees. And I just want to say there were over 60 books that were submitted. There were only 30 books that were nominated, and there were 12 books that were chosen.
Wow.
See, I edited all of that stuff, and I'm telling you, some of you guys, actually, I think everybody on here, I had to go back and just sit back and listen again and again. Even though I had to edit it and make it fit, I just sat back and listened, and I'm like, you can tell how happy, not necessarily to be a winner, but how happy you guys were to just express yourselves, period, through your books. You could tell through just that little 2 or 3 minutes. You can tell. That's rare in itself. We had spoken word on yesterday. And the same feeling that you missed it, Michelle. The same feeling that I'm getting here. I got there yesterday as well because we had a guy from Kenya on yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a fantastic vibe of knowledge and wisdom and inspiration. I'm telling you, man. I'm never at a loss for words, but I'm sitting back right now just listening. Kevin, I'm trying to be like you, bro. Tina, I don't want you to just sit there and not say nothing, man. What tell me the story?
Listen, I am amongst greatness and I am absorbing it all. Congratulations to all of the winners and for you putting out your work. I am actually here supporting my sister friend, the wonderful author Claire Fleming, who has 2 dope books out. And I was just behind the scenes. I think I gave him the wrong link. Can you hear me?
What's that?
Can you hear me?
We
I think
hear
I
you.
gave him the
We
wrong
can hear
link.
you.
But but I am so excited to be here. I'm just sitting here in awe and inspired by you all because one day I'm an aspiring author, and so just to hear your stories is awe inspiring. So thank you so much for allowing me to just sit in the space and absorb your greatness. You all are so dope.
That's what I said. Oh, there you go.
Dope.
That's dope
There you
living.
go. Exactly.
Dope,
There you go.
dope, dope.
Plug. I'll take it. I
Put
take
that
it.
out
I
there.
take it.
So dope.
I will take it. I will take it. So, Katrina, thank you for that. Okay, because you're absolutely right. Just to hear their stories, from Dr. Grace all the way to Michelle, just to hear their stories, man,
Yeah.
if you are a lover of life, period, this is a plethora of life experiences that are right here that have been through things to get to where they need to go to. Except for Kevin, he just walked on through. All right, but
Yeah.
I didn't
I
walk
was
on through. I knew early on I had no control over my present environment.
well, maybe I should have said you walked ahead of it. You know,
Yeah.
you didn't know,
There
so
you
you
go.
just kept
I
walking.
I,
and you
I
walked ahead.
carried a lot of crap with me. I carried a lot of crap with me. And football, I if it had not been for football, I know I would have ended up jail because I was angry. And I interviewed my high school coach. They got me started on there, and I asked him. I said I was nose guard. I said I weighed 134 pounds. He said I weighed 165 pounds. I said, how did you put me at nose guard? And he says I had to put you someplace so you wouldn't hurt anybody. He put me in the middle of the field. He says you just had anger all over you. And I had to be honest because I grew up hearing the stories of black this, black that, and we're not this in the system. And I said every single stereotype that was happening was in my life. I'm the only one. There's 13 of us out of 2 marriages. I'm the only male in my family does not have my picture in a government yearbook. And I purposely did that. I was the only male in my family that did not bring a child in the world before he was 16 years old. And I did that on purpose. I made choices. You know, I talk all the time about, we all have 2 things in common, chance and choice. Your chance, you choose to live the life that you have, or you live the life that someone has given you. And the choice supports whatever action that follows that chance. And I looked at the fact that my father said the only way I was going to get a college education that I had to run fast and jump high. I did both. When my grandfather told me in order for me to be equal to someone lighter and brighter than me, I had to be 3 times as good to be equal. And I chose to be 10, so there'd be no excuse. So that happened, early on. And I will tell you the night that I got that award, out of all the accomplishments I had in sports, outside of bringing my own son into the world, I had to pull over the side of the road and I cried like a baby as I talked to Miss Michelle Cox. And we talked about trying to digest what had just happened. Cried like a baby on the side of the road.
That's testimony right there, bro.
Yes, it is.
Man.
Testimony.
So,
Dr. Grace,
I'm blessed.
don't want you to just sit back in the cut being beautiful. We need to hear a little bit more from you. So you traveled around the world then, huh?
I have, yes.
And all the experiences are in your book?
Most of them, yes. As I said, I have an essay on traversing the Panama Canal. A wonderful, wonderful experience was in Zambia, in Southern Africa. That was the one where we went on a missions trip. And I got an opportunity to preach right across the country and all the way up in the rural villages. Life-changing experience. And up in the Copper Belt in that country. It's a fascinating country. It's one of the poorest countries on earth, Zambia. But the people were just so warm and friendly and inviting. And of course, in the middle of all the missions, we had a little time for R&R. So I did go on safari and visit the
cool.
Wonderful Victoria Falls, which is on both sides of Zimbabwe and Zambia. That was excellent.
Wow.
And then, of course, I had to visit the maternity hospital.
Of course.
You got to go home.
And so
Dr. Grace, I think you like slapping babies' booties, huh?
they don't do that anymore. They used to do that. We rub their backs. We're kinder and gentler now. But I spent the day with the midwives, and they were just very, very open and welcoming. Very sad situation where people have to bring their own food. Their families have to bring food for them to eat. It's not supplied in the hospital. There were no sheets on the bed. They were just on mattresses. But they were there to do one of the most life-giving jobs, and that was to give life. And that's what I love, just helping to bring new life into the world.
So let me ask you, Dr. Grace,
yes.
Are you bilingual?
Yes.
How many languages do you speak?
Spanish and English.
Okay.
And the Spanish, because not only did I study it in college, but remember I said that my mother was born in Panama. So they were bilingual, my aunts and grandparents. And so I heard Spanish in the home when I was a child. But then when I went to college, I studied it for one semester and found that I was really pretty quickly was able to pick it up. It has been the most valuable experience because coming from New York, I worked with the Puerto Rican population and the Dominicans and the Cubans. And then when I came down to Texas, the Mexicans, the Guatemalans, the Ecuadorians, and it really has come in handy. Parkland. By the way, Miss Michelle, are you from Dallas? Because I saw you raise your hand before.
I used to live in Dallas, and I used to drive for Dart in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
When you go back to Parkland, if you ever go visit, tell Charmaine Hicks, one of the other drivers I work with, tell her I said hi.
Okay.
I lived in Dallas for 5 years.
Okay, it's an interesting place, interesting city.
I stayed in Austin, Texas for 30 years. I'm sorry, 13.
Okay. Who was that? Austin.
Yeah, I had Texas toast.
Okay.
That's a good thick stuff, son.
Yeah. So when I got to Parkland, and 98% of our patients were from Mexico. So I learned how to work with Mexican women as they gave birth. And what I've discovered in the 40 years that I did nurse midwifery, every woman delivers differently, and it's very culturally based. And so when I was in New York at Kings County Hospital, I worked with a lot of Haitian women, and they chant when they give birth. You can hear them when you're coming down the hall of the hospital.
Make it come out right, make it come out easy, make it come out right. Orgasms.
Really need help.
Mexican women are very stoical. They don't make a lot of noise. But one of the things that I was able to do was to engage the men. They would be there, but it was like, that's women's business. And I would say, no, papi, ven acá. And
they were standing there like this. They were standing there like
this. Come here. Yes.
As if it didn't concern them. But I was able to engage them. Yeah. So yes, I've also been to Israel. The year 2000, my husband and I, for our 25th wedding anniversary, we've been married 46 years.
How old are you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry?
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I'll be 79 in April.
Get out of here, man.
Hey, you get some snaps for that too. Aging gracefully out here. Aging gracefully out here.
Thanks be to God.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea.
Through the Lord Jesus Christ.
Have you read Claire's book yet?
For his grace, huh?
Have you read Claire's book yet?
No.
Talk about which one?
That's that fountain of youth right there, Kevin. That's that fountain of youth.
Time out.
I think she ghost read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, God,
she looks
very good.
awesome.
God
beautiful.
very, very good to me. I have nothing but thanks. And I took on a new role just 6 months ago at my church. I've been asked to be the director of our Seasoned Saints ministry.
Oh, okay.
The Seasoned Saints are the 55 plus.
Wow.
And
nice.
I've never worked with older people, even though I'm old. I always worked with young people and
you're only
kids.
as old as you say you are.
I think I'm older than most of those older people. And I'm trying to wake them up. Come on.
Yeah.
You have so much youth. There's so much youth.
See, a lot is in your mind.
Yeah.
If you tell yourself you're an old lady and you can't do this and that, that's foolishness. I'm on the move. And I'm planning on taking them on a trip if the COVID subsides to Barbados next year.
You got a lot on your
Can I go? May I go?
I want to go.
Well, you know what? You've done so much, Dr. Burke. Not only have you done so much, but you now have an award-winning book in your lifetime.
Yes.
Hold up. Wait a minute. We got to put some life coaching in it. Jeff, up to now, man. What's up?
Man. Okay, normally, we'll do it a little earlier and then it's kind of light and then you go hard at the end, but I'm going to just go hard now because the thing is this whole week, culminating up to now, today, this is like an eruption, an explosion of like knowledge, experience, just the whole nine. And as all of y'all talk, if nobody is watching this show right now, they really missing out, because the common denominator between all of y'all is that y'all took accountability through y'all experiences in order to grow. And then since you all took accountability through your experiences in order to grow, you are now then able to teach others. This can be through your talks, your writings, whatever it is that you put out and you manifest, it comes out in a teachable way. And I'm telling you, don't ever let nobody tell y'all that y'all not walking in your gifts, y'all not walking in your purpose, y'all don't know what the hell is going on with y'all, because point blank, y'all are in the realm within y'all gifts and talents, and y'all not gonna stop. Y'all are the epitome of growth. Y'all are the epitome of forever learning, and this is just awesome, yo. I'm trying to be like y'all. I'm too young out here, man. I'm trying to be like y'all when I get older. This is awesome, man. I'm a young man. I'm 31 years old. I'm soaking up all this here. This is beautiful.
This has been one of the more fulfilling shows we've done.
Definitely.
I mean, you guys have really, really, really put us in a different place. I mean, seriously, I'm on the verge of tears because it's amazing to just sit here and listen. I'm known for my my buffoonery, all right, but to sit here and to be amongst you guys, okay, number one, award-winning authors, okay, but number two, just great people, individuals, with stories, with testimonies. It's a beautiful thing. Katina wants to ask a question.
First of all, I have to piggyback on Jeff and Kenneth, Kenneth said he's like a kid by the fireplace. And then Jeff gave me the alley-oop because you all are so awesome. I think about the fact that there are so many stories and so many ideas as creatives. I want to know, as an aspiring author, and what tips you could give to aspiring authors of how to choose that one story, like to start. Because the fact that you did it, like, people have stories, but they never start, and you did it. So how do you start with that one story? Give us some tips on that.
Let me take that if you don't mind. I'd like to jump right in.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Now, number one, remember, writing isn't linear. Don't think about what you did in high school or college. Sometimes your stories start at the back. Sometimes they start in the middle. Sometimes it's just one word that sparks this whole creative process. And the other thing is, throw up on the paper. Just start writing. Doesn't matter how you write it, because that's why we have editors. Editors make everything look pretty. All you got to do is put it on the page and let it come through you, because you're the vessel. Just let it out. That's mine.
Thank you so much.
I would add, write what you know and who you are. as Michelle was saying, let it flow through you, and also listen for that small voice of God directing you into what you should put down on the
Great
paper.
advice.
That's
Great advice.
very, very, very true for me. And even as I wrote this book, December's as Pleasant as May, I would come up maybe to an impasse and say, now, how do I go this way? How do I do that? And then I heard that small voice said, do this, do that. And I put it down and it fit and it fell into place.
And I'm over here taking notes. That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, Kevin, go ahead.
And for me, I would say allow yourself to be vulnerable. When I write, Michelle said it, linear. I always write with the end in mind as I'm giving a presentation to a young person and trying to share my journey. Even though the story may not end that way, it gives me a direction to go to. And I just dump. And like she said, your first draft is crap. It's just an uptake of all this information. But if I say anything that has any value, write the story that you believe that you need to tell that will make a difference in at least one person's life. There's 241 million people in the United States, 8 billion on this planet. In order for you to be a successful writer, all you got to do is make an impression on 1% of either one of those numbers, and you are a rock star.
Most definitely. That's great advice. Ken Joseph says, sometimes there's a voice that's knocking at your creative door. Clara, you got anything?
I would say for me, I had to get over the people-pleasing aspect of writing. Thinking, what if this person thinks this and this person thinks this? When I wrote Reflections, I went to my children and said, hey, I'm going to write this book, and it's raw. There's some things you know, some things you don't know. Let's talk about it. Are you okay with it? And once I had their permission, then I realized that I was writing for me.
Yep.
Hoping that Dad would like my book, hoping that Katina would like my book, hoping that it would affect someone else. But at the end of the day, you have to be true to yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And you have to be happy with the quality of whatever it is that you put out. Because I'm not going to write a book that pleases everybody.
Yeah, true that.
I'm just not. But at the end of the day, I'm happy.
Can I add
what matters? That I can look in the mirror at my reflection and say, you know what, you did the damn thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I want to say one thing since she said that being authentic. My book came out, X's and O's came out of my journal from 1973 to March 1st, 2019. I got a concussion and lost my memory. I didn't remember who my family was, my wife, or anybody else. And it was one day that I was left in my house, and I looked on my computer, pulled it up, didn't have to use a password. And this is the reason why I say God works his will and his way. And this manuscript came up, and I had already transposed it. But the big thing is that my father had died 10 years earlier before the release of my book. My mother had came back into my life and been absent from 8 years old till I was 35 years of age. And I was afraid of her interpretation of the book. And when I confronted her with my brothers and sisters and I let her read it before it was released, I knew it was going to hurt her. But I said strongly, I love both my parents. And one of the things that I stated is that my parents were very brave to make the choice that was best for them, not what was best for me. And then when I spoke to my mother, I said, I'm going to release it no matter what. And I said, I'm not trying to hurt you. I said, but this was my way of coping. And I said, I'm going to be honest with you. If you really were worried about what I was going to write or any of your other children, you should have never left town. And that's allowing yourself to be vulnerable and being honest with the people in your life. And you just got to accept that. We all at some point has shortchanged someone in our life, and we have to own that. And the manuscript reveals your vulnerability in telling that story.
I'm sorry.
If I could piggyback off of Kevin with the question, because when you're talking about your mother and so forth, it's your story, but how do you balance making sure that you're not, I won't say tarnishing legacies, because sometimes we've gone through things and it's our story, but your question is, should you tell it because it could tarnish someone else's reputation, but it's the truth. And so how do you balance that as an author to be authentic to who you are, to help someone else who's gone through something, but also as much as possible honor the legacy or honor the name of the person who may have offended you?
You cannot tell your story if you're worrying about someone else's story being told.
That's it.
Not only that, just let me give it to you this way. Number one, if you're not authentic in the story and you're not telling it the way it really is and you're sugarcoating it, people will miss the message, because you could save somebody's life with your story. You just never know what they need, because they probably are going through it or are in it, and they're looking for this piece of redemption that they need. If you omit it in all the hard stuff, then it's like what we have going on today in our society. Nobody wants to have these uncomfortable conversations. But until we start having the uncomfortable conversations, we don't get to all the hurt and dig out all that pus and goo and all those things that keep us stuck.
And okay, can I come in here? Can I come in here and try to answer as well?
Can I add one more thing to that?
Sorry.
Yeah. Remember this: education is not designed to make you comfortable. It's designed to make you think.
Learn how to learn.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Kevin. Damn it.
Come on,
Dr. Burke. I apologize. And by the way, Michelle,
No.
Michelle, the way you're talking, I'm on chapter 8 of Dr. Claire's book. You keep talking.
Stop. Go ahead, Dr. Grace.
No, I was that, just piggybacking on what Clara said. I had that experience with my other book, Broken Pieces, the one about the adoption. I did talk to my children first, because I worried about those hard places that I discussed in the book, my hard experiences. And I asked them permission to write the book. Even though I knew I wanted to write it, I still didn't want to hurt them. I didn't want to tarnish, as you said, their thing. But they said to me, Mom, even though you're talking about us in this story, it's your story. If we were writing it, we would be writing it from our point of view, but this is what you experience. So they gave me permission. The other thing that I did was I used pseudonyms. It didn't matter that their names, true names, were mentioned. It's the experiences that counted, not who they were. So I created pseudonyms for every character in the book, and it still was, as far as I feel, very effective. It still told the story as I experienced it without using their name. So that, Katina, that might be another thing you might want to think about in writing your book, using pseudonyms, because you really do not want to hurt your loved ones while you tell your story.
And when when it gets too difficult, when thinking about a book becomes heavy and it gets difficult, sometimes when you can't carry the weight of that, you have to break it down, a chapter at a time, a page at a time, a word at a time. And the other thing that you have to do is realize, yes, it's your story, and whoever you think you might be offending has the same opportunity to sit down with a paper and pen and tell their story. You're not responsible for carrying everybody. You're responsible for you. And part of writing the way that we seem to write here on this platform, part of that is healing. I can't heal myself if I'm trying to give you the medicine. That's not going to work.
That's it.
That's not going to work. My wound is going to still bleed if I'm worried about giving you my Band-Aid. And it's only in my healing that I can go out and do what I feel my ministry is.
Absolutely.
And your readers will either know your heart or know your lie.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
It is. Amen.
One of my relatives who read my book said, I don't know how you could have written that. It's so raw. It's so transparent. And I said, but it's not your story. It's mine. It's not your story. It's mine. And not only that, I think we as African Americans, at least for me, grew up with this aura of secrecy. Everything was a secret with my grandparents and so forth. Don't tell it, keep the family business inside the house. What's in here is what belongs in here, not outside. And we're so worried about that we're not speaking truth. We're not enlightening anyone. We're not helping the next generation to grow.
Right.
So I've decided long ago to throw aside all that secrecy. It's not like you're putting everything out there just to be putting it, but it's what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I want to ask Gina. Gina, look at this. Just look at this, Gina. This is this is amazing. You put a platform together and invited authors, people who are bearing their souls, bearing their hearts out, and telling the stories. You gave them a platform to do so, and you rewarded them in the same price. How do you feel seeing all of this?
Oh my goodness, I can't even put it in words. Every time I talk to one of the Distinguished Authors Guild authors, it just puts me on cloud nine. I just feel so grateful to them, and just to be a part of it. And they were such a great group to work with. I mean, it's a hard process, the whole process behind the scenes, just trying to get everything together and to flow flawlessly. And you work with me, Greg, so you understand. There was some takes and retakes and oh fuck it.
Hey,
but
just to Grace, I didn't say no curse words.
But that's where we were some days. That's just where we were. But to hear and talk to them and see the smiles on their faces and the gratefulness, it makes it all worth the hard work. And I'm so looking forward to 2022 Distinguished Authors Guild. It's going to be held in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Y'all coming, right?
This is going to be another level for DAG. And of course, all the authors, 2021 authors, know that they have honorable mention. So it doesn't just stop there. We advertise their books on the DAG page. We do everything we can to give them more platforms such as Dope Living, Ethereal Magazine. We do whatever we can to continue this ride and continue to keep them out there for the full year. And then at the end of the year, when we get ready for the next one, they get that honorable mention again. So that puts them back again in the limelight.
Yes.
Hey, this filmmaker says he wants to do movies for you guys. Okay, his name is Ken Joseph. Y'all connect with him. All right, seriously, he's good. Trust me. Let me do this. We're gonna go around the table and let you guys say your final words, say your final piece, but let everybody know where they can get your books from. All right, Dr. Grace, we'll start with you.
Yes, so mine is available on Amazon.com and on my website, graceburkebooks.com.
Okay, is there anything else you want to say really quick?
Just keep on writing. Don't let anything stop you. As inspiration comes, write it down, get it down on paper. As Brother Kevin said, just put it down and let it flow. And you can always go back and edit and redo and make it pretty and make it nice or whatever you want to do, but get it all out. Get it all out initially. And God will help you to do the rest.
Absolutely. And the name of her book is December as Pleasant as May. You cannot forget that name. The name just says a lot. And her book was in the inspiration category.
Okay. Clara, some final words and tell us where you can get your book.
I would tell people, not only do you have to trust the process, but you have to trust yourself. you have to trust that voice that you hear, that you sometimes doubt. It's not going to steer you wrong. I tell people when they get reflections, they want a little note sometimes in the book, and I've written in there that you can never be too busy to communicate with self. You can't be disconnected from yourself, because that's when those doubts creep in. So you have to keep that relationship, you have to keep that balance, the relationship with yourself, and then the relationship with other people over here. But this one is first. That and whatever higher power you choose to believe in, and the relationship with yourself. And if you trust that, then writing a book is not going to be a difficult process.
There you go. Where can I get your book?
Yeah.
You can get my book on my website at clarafleming.com. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it from So You Can Write Publications.
Okay, we'll do a post with everybody's information on there as well. I didn't have time to. That's my apologies. Michelle, give us some final words.
All right. Now, for those that don't know, I'm giving away 1 million ebooks this year to help our
$1 million, girl. I was ready.
Woo! 1 million. Greg was ready to make it rain.
Yeah, 1 million. I started choking on my Coca-Cola. I was like, oh no, $1 million.
I'm sorry, Michelle. Go ahead.
And everybody can go to tmrcus.com. That stands for the Mommy Readers Collection, us.com. So that's T as in the, M as in mommy, R as in readers, C as in collections, U as in United S as in states.com, hashtag ebook. And you can get a free copy for a child you love no matter where you are, because it's an ebook. I was the first ebook to win a DAG.
Yeah. Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Now, as far as writing books, I'm an independent author. I'm also a publisher. The one thing you also want to do is protect your creative genius. So anytime you're writing, make sure you're copywriting. And that way, when you get ready to publish, somebody can't steal from you. All right, I'm Michelle, the computer lady. As always, it's always a pleasure. Kevin, now it's to you.
Kevin.
All right. Well, I will say this. You can get both my books, Indispensable Games and X's and O's, How I Learned Everything About Life I Learned Playing High School Football, and Sprinkles, an award-winning DAG book, Sprinkles, True Spirit of Christmas, on Amazon.com, and both on Audible. You can get those books. I will tell you, and my takeaway for everyone, if you are attempting to write a book, you need to understand writing the book is easy. The hard part is rewriting the book. That's the hard part. So I would say believe in yourself and dream big.
Appreciate that, brother. Tina, did you want to say something?
I had to get off mute. I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me the space and answering the questions and just allowing yourselves to be used by God. I believe it's being used by God or higher power, however you want to go, because through your experiences, your grit, your perseverance, you've influenced not just the world, but generations to come. And so thank you so much for being so, as I said before.
Can I ask one question before we leave?
Sure.
Because we're live and people are seeing this. For those of you that are young, that are looking at this, I want you to look at this. Black and brown people celebrating being Black.
Absolutely.
Even one light-skinned person too.
You just couldn't.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Real quick, we always like to celebrate entrepreneurs, and we try to inspire and educate on the show. I want to throw a shout out, number one, to Ken Joseph, who was asking not asking a lot of questions, but putting a lot of great comments up here. He has a film coming out, the Johnny Jackson story. Where's my notes here? It's
February.
A couple of weeks. It's in Chicago. www.
Well, the tickets go on sale February.
www.prettyboyfilmsinc.com. Tickets go on sale in February. You don't want to miss that. He also has clothes that go with it. I'll show a couple of them. That's the leather jacket. There's the pants.
Where's
the
the
whole
hat?
jacket there. So he has merchandise as well with that. So
He
go
does
out there.
hats.
There's going to be an author from the award-winning author from the Distinguished Authors Guild that's going to be there as well.
Yes.
So go out there and check her out, check him out, check the film out, and show support. Ashley Wright has Splash Effects, www.splasheffects.com. She has a winter sale going on, $5. Everything must go. And
Wow.
if the wind picks up, it's gonna be gone, definitely. So we're anchor it down, girl, put it down. So we thank you guys for coming on. I want to give my my panel an opportunity to say their final words. Moby, what you got?
Man, this is a beautiful thing. Like I said, celebrating Blackness is always a beautiful thing to me. I try always to celebrate my Blackness, no matter where I'm at. And this right here just throws the fire and throws the gasoline on it.
Absolutely. Marcella?
I just want to first thank all of the authors for coming. Also, it's just, I'm so excited and overwhelmed. I've always been an avid reader. And to me, for those that are watching, hopefully we bring back the love of books and reading. Kudos to everyone here and all of our authors from this week. And I just say, keep up the good work.
Absolutely. Gina?
Well, I want to put it out there to all the viewers, all the listeners, and the whole panel. Purchase the books, purchase the author's books. They are great books. That's why they are award-winning. We do not take that lightly.
Right.
Support. That is the reason that we have Distinguished Authors Guild, so we can have a platform to support these independent authors, and that's what we're pushing for. Support. Buy a copy for your friends. Don't pass the book along when you're done. Let everybody get their own copy. These authors put a lot of work, sweat, tears, and time into writing these books. And that's what we want to do, is support each other and help each other to stand up and move up.
Hey, Greg, did you see that last comment that you put up there?
There needs to be Black biblical movies. Yeah, most definitely.
Because it's a lot of facts that's not been put where it's supposed to be put, as far as we're concerned, in that Bible.
Ken Joseph, I'm telling everybody, put his name down. He's on Facebook. Look him up, okay? Hey,
thanks, Ken.
I just wanted to say that, everybody, again, a theme here was that, you go through things to get to something better. We're all the same. We all start off on the same starting line, okay? And it's how we move and make those steps forward. It defines us, You guys are doing unconventional occupations. These occupations where, and we've said this before many times on the show, where if you ask kids in school, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a police officer, fireman, How many people say they want to be an entertainer, want to be an author, Not many say that, okay? But you guys are exemplifying the fact that you can be anything, And what's even better is that we're doing it Black. You know what I'm saying? We're doing this, and I don't care what happened. And Kevin, you mentioned a long time ago, back in the 60s and 70s, where we were told we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that. Hey, look at this right now. Look at this panel of people right now. We're doing it. We are doing it, period. And can't nobody take it away from us, okay? You can come on here. Look, we encourage everybody to come on here, black, white, green, whatever. Okay, come on. The thing is, you cannot take what we have accomplished, what we are doing. You can't take it away from us, okay? And you guys are so very inspiring. And this has been one of the better shows that we've had here on DopelivenTV Live. And I thank you guys for blessing us with your appearance. I thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
I am
an honor and a pleasure.
I'm actually, Gina, since we're not on tomorrow, I think I'm just going to take the link because, I got to thank African American Television. Thank you guys for tuning in. All of our fans and friends on LinkedIn, YouTube, everybody, man. Ping, what? Did you say Ping?
Kenya.
Don't forget Kenya.
I said African American.
Mexico.
African Television Network. I'm sorry. We just thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope today, out of all the days, this week actually, you've been inspired, and today was just the icing on the cake. I'm going to post this tomorrow, this link tomorrow, and you can get it off of YouTube, so that you can enjoy what we just enjoyed. This has been food for the soul, and I appreciate it.
Yes.
Kevin, we got to do some work together, bro.
Hey, I'll give you my number. Gina has my number. Moby, I'm going to tell you, I've got a whole conversation about Sprinkles the True Spirit Christmas and how it should be done. If you're open to listen to a neophyte, I have been in the acting business and probably the only person that walked into New York and got a contract 24 hours after you've been there on a soap opera and had zero acting experience. So
Wow.
God has guided me.
Kevin, I'm following you, bro. I already know what you do. You know what I'm saying? And to have you on here with us to give us the time, I appreciate you. As well as Michelle. Michelle is too doggone busy.
Well, I need your help in one of the missions I'm doing now on my podcast, because I've done a whole series on sex trafficking, and our people are turning a blind eye to the reality of what's going on, and our children are in danger. And
I understand we got a problem with it in our culture.
We have a bad problem, and we need to address it, have these conversations. I've got victims that are coming on and sharing their stories, and I am not going to stop until we get some healing, we get some support, and we get some of these people in places where they can get help or get them off the street, because I'm pissed off right now in what I'm learning.
Well, Kevin, we did a show on sex trafficking as well, okay? But what I would love to do is invite you to come back on here. Let's plan a show on sex trafficking. Let's talk about it. If you need any of these people to come on,
I need all of our people to come on. I need all of our people to start sharing and let me share with the people. We need to grow this, and we need to quit pretending that we don't see it. And we need to act on it. We have to have a higher call to action on this.
Let's definitely get it done. Dr. Grace, you're so beautiful. You are an icon sitting on this stage with us right now. We thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed being here tonight. Thank you so much.
We enjoyed you.
Thank you, Dr. Grace.
Yes.
There's a lot more to my story, what I've been through over these 78 years.
We'll invite you back on, and you can talk about it.
We'll just listen.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just to say something real quick, I'm a child of the 60s, and with God's help, I was able to attend 2 Ivy League colleges.
I got you.
Back in the 60s, when I was the only African American in my classes. I graduated from Cornell University in 1964 and Columbia University in 1968.
All right.
And in both of those classes, I was the only African American in my class. It was long before affirmative action or any of that. It was back when, in the days of Dr. King and Malcolm X. And I was the Lone Ranger in those classes. It wasn't easy, but with God's help, I was able to make it.
We're going to be doing a whole month of celebrating Black history. Okay. And Black history isn't just Martin Luther King and everybody else. People that are doing things right now. Okay. And I invite you all to come back, seriously, so we can talk about your Black history.
I'm in.
There you go.
Let's do this. Okay. That's all the time we got. Hold up. Wait a minute. Gotta
put some
one more bit of life coaching in it. Go ahead.
One more little bit. Man. Like I said earlier, just let this, for the people that are watching and for the people that will watch this replay, because people are going to definitely watch this replay. The thing is, let this just be a testament to that your mind can always be expanded. You can always continue to learn, and nothing should hinder you from growth.
Nothing.
And always take those experiences and manifest whatever you want from those experiences. It always does not have to be into something negative. We have to stop looking at our experiences and always wanting to put the layer the negativity on top of negativity. Let's not do that now. Let's make a different change and a transition today. Let's take all of our experiences and manifest them into positivity, so then we can help change within ourselves and within our culture and our people.
All right.
Regroup, refocus.
J Real.
Redirect, regroup.
Yes.
That's his platform. Okay, we have our own life coach. So thank you, Jeff.
No problem, brother.
We're about to get up out of here. All right. Normally after the show, we talk to each other, talk about what we're gonna do next and this and that. I invite you guys to hang out with us for a second, okay, if you can, after the show. Just stay on, and we just want to talk to you guys for a minute. All right. This is Dope Living TV Live, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. All right. Again, thank you, LinkedIn, YouTube, the African Television Network, all of you guys for always supporting, always coming on and checking us out. We had a good one today, and we'll have more for you next week. All right. On behalf of the whole team and everybody that's sitting up here, have a great weekend. We will see you guys.
Peace.
All right.
Good night.
Peace.
All right.
Yeah.